Warning: the following tutorial requires you to edit your registry. Making a single mistake while editing your registry can render your system inoperable. I'm not liable for anything that happens if you try to give this a go. However, if you are unsure if you are really going to make a mistake, I recommend making a system restore point before continuing to watch. Thank you for heeding the warning, and let's get to it. Hey guys, Mr. Me here. I'm getting even more frustrated. I've had to restart this so many times already. But, instead of throwing a game at you, I've decided to throw my desktop at you today. And you've probably hardly ever seen it, if at all. But, that little screen that you get whenever you pull up the computer, whenever it boots up, or whenever you lock the computer, you typically see the background that looks something like this, don't you? Well, have you ever wondered if you could change that picture because maybe you're tired of seeing the standard blue with a random plant background? Well, you actually can, and without using any third-party software. Microsoft has allowed you to do it from completely within the operating system itself, and the process is simple as long as you have administrator privileges on your user account. So, if you're really interested in doing it, we should get started. First of all, what you need to do is you need to click your start button and go to your search box and type in regedit. Once it gives you your list of results, click on the program that says regedit. User account control pops up and asks you if you want to allow the following program to make changes, and it is the Registry Editor, and you hit yes. Again, you'll need admin privileges on your user account. Once the Registry Editor opens, you need to find the folder that says HKey local machine, and if that is not visible, expand the computer tab and it should be right there for you. But once in, you need to right click on HKey local machine and hit find. And by default, all three of these things, I don't even know what they're called, but keys, values, and data are all ticked by default. Untick keys and data and leave values ticked. What you need to search for in the search box is OEMBackground. Is that spelled right? Yeah, that's spelled right. Then you need to hit next, or find next. The button that allows you to find. So Windows will search the registry for the value which you specified, and it should give you the file called OEMBackground. Open it up and change the hexadecimal value to 1. Say OEMBackground is not listed after you search, you need to right-click, New, DWORD 32-bit value, and name it OEMBackground and change the value to 1. But I can't really see why it wouldn't be, but that's just if it isn't. But since you've changed the value to 1, you can close the Registry Editor. That's all you need it for. Next, you need to go to Windows Explorer, or in my case, my computer, and navigate to the drive in which your OS is stored on. Open it up, which mine is C, so I will go to C, Windows, System 32, and then find the folder that's called OOBE and open it. In this folder, ignore all these files, but what you need to do is you need to create a new folder called Info. But since this is a system folder and contains files that's required for the OS to start, you need to provide administrator permission to make a new folder. So make the new folder, provide the consent, and rename the folder to Info. Open Info and create another one called Backgrounds. Again, you'll need to provide permission. In Backgrounds, you can see it's empty. That's where your side of the deal comes in. What you need to do now is you need to either find or make an image that's a JPEG. It has to be a JPEG or else it won't work. It has to be under 256 kilobytes or it will not work. And it's recommended that it matches your screen's resolution, but it doesn't have to. Windows will automatically stretch or compress it as necessary. Since I've already made a couple of pictures for this purpose, I will just navigate to one of them. Let's see, it is right here. I'm going to copy this picture, but before I go any further, let me show you what it actually looks like in full. This is what it would look like in full if you were to pull it up. Well, I did pull it up, but this is what it would look like, just for reference. Now let's copy it, and let's then look at the properties just to make sure it's correct. Again, it has to be a JPEG, which this file seems to be a JPEG. It's under 256 kilobytes, and it matches my screen resolution of 1680 by 1050, which sadly that's the highest my monitor can go. Then once you've copied it, and I'm going to copy it again, you need to go back to your backgrounds folder. You need to right click and paste. Provide administrator permission, because it's a system folder, and although you've already done that, although you've pasted your picture into the folder, using Windows L or locking the computer through the start menu to see if this will work, it will not work yet, because the file needs to be renamed to background default. Let's see, is that spelled right? Yeah, I spelled it right. You need to rename it to background default. Now from this point, all you would normally need to do is hit Windows L, or go to the start menu and hit lock and hit, use the lock function on the start menu. But unfortunately, even with the screen recorder, I cannot directly show you that because the login screen is a remote desktop, and Windows does not allow screen recorders to capture that desktop without replacing the utility manager. And I've tried replacing the utility manager file with like Cam Studio or Screencast or EaseVid or whatever. It just didn't work, so I can't show you that directly, but I can show you what the screen would look like if you were to lock my computer right now and see it. This is what it would look like. It would have it would have this picture just with these things on it. The the logged in user's picture, their name, locked, switch user, ease of access button in Windows 7, whatever. And this does work on Windows Vista in the exact same way in which from what I've read, but if you have Windows XP, it's a lot more complicated process. And again, I'm sorry I cannot directly show you that this would work. But if you follow all these steps correctly, and then you lock the computer, either with Windows L through the start menu, it should properly function correctly. But I should note that if you change themes, the hexadecimal value for OEMBackground in the Registry Editor will sometimes change back to 0. In that case, your new background for the login screen will revert to the Windows default, but it is not gone. All you have to do is open up the editor and change the hexadecimal value back to 1, and then your background will be restored. I have not figured out a way to fix that or not. But anyway guys, that's how you would change your login screen background for your Windows 7 computer, and I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm sorry I can't show you that directly. Again, I'm really sorry I can't do that. But I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial. There will be more in the future. And I will see you later, I guess. I mean, I got really nothing else to say. Oh, by the way, Windows. I named my clock Windows. What you gonna do? Alright, see you later, everybody.